Hello everyone. Again, this is the third development video for Vorge, my HTML5 and JavaScript game engine. Um, if you've kept up with the videos, you've already seen probably most of what we're going to go over today, but I just figured since I'm starting to put things up on YouTube, I'll just go over everything all over again instead of having to upload the first two. Now everything will be on one video. So this is, of course, the boot up screen. This is what you see if you do not have a project configured yet. So basically, you just come in here and you name the title. Let's name it My Cool Game. And for description, we'll just, do whatever we'll say. My very first Forge game. All right, and as you see over here on the right side, I did kind of explain this a little bit in the last video. I do want to have as many options as possible for you to customize your project. For now, it is obviously just default, which will be the 4-3, default RPG perspective. But eventually, I would like to have platformer and isometric. Now, you could essentially create a platformer game with the, two or 4-3, excuse me, perspective. But if you have platformer checked, I want to then have more options available, like do you want to enable physics? What's your gravity going to be, etc. So lots of different ways to customize the project. But basically, starting off, this is all I have so far. We'll leave tile size as 32 for now, but you'll hit save, and so that goes and sends an AJAX request to the node server. The node server uses the file system, excuse me, to save the project.json file, and so then it counts as being configured. So then you won't see that screen again. Like if we go refresh the page, that screen doesn't pop up again. Instead, now it checks if you have a map. We don't have an existing map, so then this modal box pops up. So then we have to go and create a map. We'll just leave it untitled. Well, no, we'll just say we'll name it level 1. Tile set, I only have the one tile set in my project folder for now, so we'll leave that. Width 2015, that's going to be about 640 by 480. I mean, that's doesn't really matter, but for the sake of this video, we'll just leave it. Well, I at least want to show you it works. So, um, 24. It'll be kind of long. Oh, or tall. I guess I misjudged. All right, so um, as I have shown, the map editor does work, but let's just go ahead and paint tiles on and show this off again. It's kind of laggy just because I have the video recording. This computer's really old, so it's very difficult for it to handle multiple processes. But okay, so let me just zoom right back. So that's layer 1. You go to layer 2 and it goes a little translucent. Then you can, do whatever you want there. And then that goes translucent because I'm on layer 3. Um, just all this random stuff. There you go. So basically, all the layers work. And then as soon as you go to the eventing layer, which is the lightning bolt temporarily, I'm not sure if these icons will stay or not, but um, then every layer becomes completely opaque. And you are also able to toggle the grid visibility. This might help for, I don't know, just visualizing the project as a whole, because I know definitely that grid can definitely get in the way if you're trying to make everything pixel perfect. So I wanted to make sure that that was able to be toggled. Something new, maybe, well, half of it is new, but let me just show you. The eventing system, and that is broken. Oh, you know what? That's the database that it's showing right now. I don't know why. I'll have to fix that. That's a bug. I will fix that right after this video. Um, excuse me. So basically, in my previous video, I had shown you um, basically the starting of the eventing system, and there was not much going on here. And now there's even left on the right side, just because I haven't gotten around to finishing, filling that part out yet. What I do want to show you today is the event functions. Now, basically, what I had said previously was that I wanted it to be able to basically generate code for you. You can go ahead and write your own, code in there as well. But um, for those that might not be as technically inclined as, us programmers, basically what you can come over here and you can click new function and this box pops up. And then you have choices here. I mean, I only have 5 here, 4 of which work. The conditional if else does not work quite yet just because there's a lot of tweaking left to do. And the variable one kind of works, but it won't really be like this. Basically, right now, what you do is you type in the variable name. So let's just say reputation. And we will make the value 12. So this is our reputation. Now, first of all, problem is it puts it in a string if it's a number, which it should not be doing. So that's one bug. And as you can see, the variables that you create are actually objects, or what would you call it? A key value pair, something like that. Oops, excuse me, I just hit the microphone. Basically, I'm storing them within an object because it just makes it makes it so you can't conflict with the variables that the engine uses. And I was trying to think of all sorts of different ways on how I wanted to handle that. Putting underscores before all of my variables in the engine. I don't know, all sorts of different ways. But I figured, it doesn't break anything if I just make the variables that you create object value, excuse me, object values. I mean, it still functions pretty much the same way. So I figured, may as well do it. It's very simple to do it that way. So then, after defining the variable, come over here and let's hit dialogue. And we will have a character named the Old Man, and he will say to us, "Hello, adventurer. How are you doing?" And you see I have him asking a question. The next cool part is now we can give the player options. So you type one option per line, and you can say, "Fine, thanks." Uh, we can say, F F off, old man. Of course, now I can't spell. And then you can have him, of course, say, "Wow, disrespectful." At which point, you could do stuff like variable.reputation. So it removes one reputation because you were disrespectful. All sorts of different things. I mean, it's just like programming a game, but now we're generating code for the person that's using the game engine. Basically, this is helpful for 2 ways. One, if you don't really know how to program, and you're just, let's say, you're just the designer person, or you just want to, kind of tackle this as a hobby, well, now you can. I mean, it's very simple. Just go in, click new function. Let's make a 10-second timeout. Boom. It generates the code for you. And as you can see, it's 10,000 milliseconds, which is 10 seconds. So that's the first way. The second way is it allows somebody who maybe even is a programmer to become acquainted with basically the engine and the API that I have set up for it. So you can see that event.options. Event is my event class. Options is a function within that class, so you call it, and then you basically are giving it, basically you're giving it one large array, and then within that array has different things, but it basically can acquaint somebody with how to use Vorge. So later on, you can go ahead and program your own functions, and it'll work just fine. But another thing that I've added, which I've barely touched yet, is basically the database. As you can see, I mean, there's nothing here. It doesn't even work yet. But it'll be as simple as that. Just clicking on the database icon, then you'll have all your characters. This will be your classes and class types: wizard, warrior, knight, thief, whatever. Items, and etc. So basically, I plan on having this be as simple to use as something like RPG Maker, but open source, so it's extremely extensible. I mean, you could you know, go into the source code and basically create your own engine from this, and it's open source, so you're allowed to do that. In fact, you're encouraged to do so. I think that the potential that this engine has to make an impact on even just hobbyists, someone that wants to make games for a hobby, I think Vorge definitely becomes an option that definitely readily available to them. So I think that's it for now. I showed you creating your or configuring your project, putting tiles on the map and each layer. I showed you the eventing system where it generates code for you, and the very start of the database system, which I'm showing now. Um, I'm hoping that it's looking better and better. This is the new interface. So definitely let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll definitely be back soon with another video for you. Thank you.